Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I recorded or made a video, but I'm here now and I just want to say hello, welcome to my channel. Glad you're here. I today will be covering some information regarding how I plan to organize my budget for 2025. In the past, I was using this app, which is the budget app with the app sheet. It's the budget app. It's actually a Google Spreadsheet with a app sheet app. And it's available in my Etsy store. And I was using this to kind of track my finances. And this is cool. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I, this year, did not use this as much as I would like. And to be honest, I paid the consequences because I am a spender. I do like to spend even if I don't have the money, and that's a problem. So I always have to track what I spend. I know some people are very disciplined and they could do it all in their mind, but I need to do it like this because I do sometimes lose track and I start spending, and before I know it, I have racked up some debt. So I do this because I know that when I'm on top of it, I don't incur a lot of more debt. And I just will say for the last month of December, I didn't use it at all. And I did get a good amount of money in my credit card, which hopefully I'll be done paying before the year ends or by the beginning of the year. But yeah, like I have to track my money, and I am not a person who likes to use cash envelopes just because I'm not really good with that, and I rather just do it digitally. I like to have a report with all the KPIs of my finances at the end of the year or monthly, and it just lets me see like, oh my god, I'm spending so much money here or there. So right now I won't be covering this app here because this spreadsheet here, because this one I have a couple of videos in my channel. I've had made some changes, and if you'd like to see an update, just let me know in the comment section. But for now, I'm going to be covering something that I was missing in my budgeting plan. And this is something I used to do in the years prior to really get disciplined about my spending. And it was planning. I since I started doing this one, I wasn't planning as well. And what I used to do, what I'm doing now, I'm implementing all the planning I used to use previously to keep me in line. And I'll be honest, even though I'm using this planning and everything, it doesn't mean I'm gonna hit the goals that I set out, but it really helps me to get focused and to really stay on track. So I wanted to share this with you today, and it's going to be on my Etsy store. And even if you don't purchase this, you probably could have a couple of takeaways from this video. So without much further ado, let's begin. So this is divided into different tabs. It's divided into the budget, savings goals, savings tracker, events, and holidays. So I'm going to go over the first tab. And the first tab allows you to create a weekly budget. So I've already started, excuse me, I've already started this here, and I am planning to start the week on Mondays. Usually the financial week starts on Monday, so I usually start my week on Sunday, but financially I will be starting on Monday. And then over here, the way it works is you put your income, and you don't put your income here, you actually put funds that come in. So I place here funds that come in. I know some people, they are like a month ahead, a week ahead in financially. I usually budget week to week when I get paid. I would like to get a month ahead, but I'm not there yet. And so basically I am going to do, this is not my numbers, but I'm going to use like basic numbers to show you how it works. So I put an income of $500. I'm going to say that I had in my checking $25. I'm going to say I have an emergency of $10. I'm going to say that in my side hustle, I was able to make $50 and $25. And let's say you need to modify this, you can. It is editable. And then over here, I'm going to say, okay, so I made a total of $610. That's all the funds, or income I have available for me to use for my week. So savings, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna put $50 aside, and retirement $25. And as you can see, it starts to subtract that. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna have for investments $10 and another $10 for emergency fund. And like it's the first week of the month, I'm gonna say it's gonna be let's say if it's a $1,500 and you divided it into two, so $750. And so as you go along, you see, oh no, there's something already wrong there, because I made $500 and I needed to have more funds available, more money in my checking. So I'm just gonna up it up for the sake of, like, I'm gonna say I had $250 in my checking to make the example. So then let's say the next week, you go on to the next week and you say, well, I got another $500, right? In my checking, I had $100 left. And let's say emergency fund 10, we'll just go through this quickly. And side hustle, I only made $25 extra and nothing extra. So we have $635 to spend. Over here, I was in a negative 10, so I had to really cut something out. And there we go. We're now balance this out. And the concept for this is that basically, like Dave Ramsey says, you're assigning your money, every part of your money, you're assigning it to something. So let's say you have $1 left, you have to assign it to something. And everything has a place to be at. Like all your money has to be allotted to something specific. So as you can see, we did week 2. And what's cool about this is you could plan ahead. So let's say you pay $750 rent. So you know that for week 5 and for this date, you need to have this amount of money in your bank account. So let's say you want to plan ahead and you're like, well, I want to be a month ahead. And you're like, $1,000 I will have in my checking. And I'm covered. Or emergency fund. Let's say you have your emergency fund and you have $1,000. Well, you're covered for that date. If you have an emergency fund you haven't touched, you're covered for that date, and you can plan ahead events that are cold way ahead, like graduations. Let's say you have a graduation and you need, let's say this is a gift you're doing and you're doing $5,000. You know that you're going to need this money way ahead. So you could actually put, for gifts, you could start working it up there and say, well, 500 divided by 12 is, let's see, 60, is it $600? I'm not doing my math correctly, but let me just scroll it over. It's 7,000, so that was a little bit more, but so you'll have all your money there for that time spent. So it allows you to see your money in the big picture, and you get to track what you spent for the whole year, so you get to see. So yeah, this is part 1 of managing your money, which is creating a breakdown, assigning, in the words of Dave Ramsey, assigning money to each category, each expense, and doing this on a weekly basis, and planning, using this also to plan ahead, to map out what your expenses will be in the future. And another important part is that I used to do previously, that I want to try to implement again, is creating savings goals. So I created this here to create savings goals for myself. So let's say for savings, this bottom part, you're not going to actually add any data. It's going to populate automatically. So for this year, I plan to save $25 a week. So the first quarter, it's going to be $325. And then the second quarter, I know, these are made up numbers. I'm planning to make $50, save a little bit more. I know I'm going to get a raise. I'm planning to save $50 a week. Third quarter, I plan to save let's say I'm going back to 25, and the last quarter I will be saving $75. So savings each quarter, it tells you what you'll be saving each quarter and the total by the end of the year. So you could actually even work backwards. Let's say I want to be able to save, let's say $2,000 for the whole year. So we're going to take that $2,000 divided by, well, let's take 52. And then that's $38. So we're just going to round it off for the sake of, let's say it's $40 times 13 equals $520. So we're going to save, let's put here $40 each week, $520. So then you know, okay, for that, by the end of the year, I want to be able to have saved $2,000. And it allows you to do this for different parts. You can actually adjust this to whatever your needs are. But I really put the really basic things, which is savings, retirement, investment, emergency, holidays, and vacation. So you can actually start planning for your vacation for the next year if you don't have the funds right now. And it's just a matter to cultivate discipline and also to plan ahead. And I think a lot of what it is to be financially savvy and financially stable is planning and discipline. So now we're going to go to the next part, which is tracking how you're doing. So this is very much kind of organized like a planner, but it's your finances. And some people could do this on paper, but it's nice to have it as a digital, because when you do it digitally, it does everything for you and calculates everything for you. So over here, I have my tracking. So my plan, if I recall, I'm going to say it was $50. Let's say it was $50. And this has the 13 weeks for the first quarter. And there we go, $650. So I planned this first quarter to save $650. Once again, hypothetical. And let's say I didn't quite get to make that. And it was going to actually, the truth, this month I was kind of behind. So I know that I won't reach my goals that I had placed. But let's say that, let's say 1 month we could actually go ahead. You get your taxes. You're like, well, I could, save a little bit more than what I wanted to. So let's just keep on filling this out. I'm just going to put 50 for the rest of the quarter for what I actually saved. And I was supposed to save 1,400. Actually, I was supposed to save 650, and I saved this amount. So let's just do this. Let's do it less. I'm gonna put half. Let's have this go down to half of the amount. Okay. I was supposed to save 650, and I only saved 625. So the difference was $325. So the balance that I have that I needed to save, the difference was $325. So basically, it carries over your difference. And basically what it does is then when you start planning this week, and let's say this quarter, and you have the total amount 650, you actually add, let's see, I do 25 again. It adds the balance to that. So that's going to carry over for everything you track. So it allows you to track what you're spending and what you're saving. And basically, it's really good because it lets you see if you're not saving. A lot of times, some people start getting involved in life. Their life is so hectic and so busy that they don't even have time to kind of like keep track of this. And they'll end up like keep track of their finances, and they'll end up like saving zero for weeks. And they're like, well, I didn't put nothing away for those weeks because I needed all the money. But really, like you can, if you track it, sometimes you just put $5, and even just saving $5 could make a difference. Let's say if I did 5, Let's say, for example, if you're unemployed or you're not doing anything at the time, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. But yes, saving $500 could give you a emergency fund of $120, which is not a lot, but it does make a difference. And it does, every cent counts and every penny counts, especially in the economy that we have today. So, and I just want to say, this is not financial advice. I'm just reviewing my product. I'm just sharing what I plan to do next year, because I know that this year was a tough year, so I have to kind of catch up. And I wasn't working for a couple months, and then I had to get back on track. So I do have to play catch up. And then, like, some people didn't work at all, or some people are unemployed now. So it's just really a good place to be on top of everything and to make goals. So the second to last tab is the events tab. So here's, you're going to put like things you know that are coming. For example, I'm going to use a fake name, but in June I have a birthday coming, and let's say it was May. Let's choose July. And let's say a name Mary, and I have a birthday coming and I have to save $100. So I know that for July, I used to have an extra $100 for this. Let's say a graduation here, and I need to plan for a graduation, and that's $500. So it gives me an idea of what I need to spend for that full year. It gives you a girl for every month. Okay, every month. And then I could actually take this amount and put it into my budget and say, okay, there goes, I'm going to just put it here, and that was later on in June. I'm going to say, well, $500 I need for June. And I just could start placing these in there. And that's very helpful. And then the last tab is the holidays. The holidays is tricky, because a lot of times we fail to plan for the holidays. You're like, well, I'll just take it out of my money. And before you know it, you have to put like $1,000, $2,000 on your credit card, maybe even more. And then you're behind, and you start the year behind. And that kind of, I'll be honest with you, that happened to me this year, because like I said, I kind of wasn't tracking. So I kind of fell behind. I didn't plan it well. And that's why I was like, I got to go back to the basics. I plan to track my spending here and then get an overview, but I plan on organizing and planning my spending here. So let's say again, we have to give a gift, and I'm giving them a $5 gift. I mean, this is just an example, and a $50 gift card. And then it starts telling me, okay, and then let's say again, Mary, and then I'm giving her a $10 gift and a $25 gift card. And if you don't do gift cards or gift, you could choose whatever you want. It doesn't make a difference. But it tells you here, and I have a budget. My budget will be $500. So I know I have $410 left. And you could plan this for whenever you're going to start actually buying gifts, like if it's in November. And some of you might put all your gifts on a credit card and pay it for January or December, so it doesn't really make a difference. You need to know that you have that money by December. So this was a very quick overview of my new Master Your Budget spreadsheet. I will be using this next year. I created this, and I actually need to use this, so I only created it because I need it. And I like what I'm seeing. I'm like I hope it's gonna help me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how many times I'm going to fill it out perfectly, but I am going to try my best to fill it out as much as I can. If I miss weeks, I'm going to try to catch up and back plan, because I do like this system. I have used it in the past. Not this format, because this one I stylized, I made it nice. But basically, I actually do use this system. And then I use a system similar to this. I have old spreadsheets where I was just putting like a simple, like nothing fancy, simple numbers, and not this well organized. Like I divided this into quarters, so you know what you're doing quarterly. It doesn't have a dashboard because I just wanted to keep it ultra simple, because I don't want to get too caught up in a rabbit hole of like what I am actually doing with finances, because I could actually just sit here and do finances all day. But I wanted to keep it simple so that you can also follow along, nothing complex. But I really like this spreadsheet, and I hope you do too. It's going to be in my Etsy store, and if you're interested, please take a look in the description. I will try to put a link. And if you know my shop already, it's going to be my Beyond Paper shop. But I most likely will have a link. And I just want to wish you a happy and healthy new year. And I hope that you can have everything you want this coming year, and that you could reach your goals, and that you could keep your spirit up so that you could stay focused on living and having a good time with your loved ones, and just allowing yourself to grow in so many ways. So I am wishing you a very happy New Year's, and I hope to see you soon, hopefully in the coming year. Bye.